Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another, you guessed it, movie reaction review! This is one I said I was going to do a while back, finally getting to it. I wasn't at home, so I didn't have my DVD on me. I was house sitting for like a week. But the movie we are talking about today is The Snow Creature, starring Paul Langton, Leslie Dennison, Teru Shimida, and it's from 1954. Good year for movies. It's black and white and rated G, actually. Frank Parrish, accompanied by cynical photojournalist Peter Wells, leads a botanical expedition to the Himalayas to discover new flora. Their plans are derailed when the wife of their lead guide, Subra, is kidnapped by a Yeti. When Parrish refuses to believe his guide, the Sherpas rebel and form a search party at gunpoint. To everyone's surprise, they find a group of Yetis in a cavern and take a male specimen to the USA for research. That's right, they don't find the woman. They don't find her. Yeah, if I could describe The Snow Creature, 1954, with one word, that word would be boring. In the first half of the movie, when they're in Tibet, it's mostly just walking. It's mostly just walking and sitting talking in tents when they're not walking. The conflict is incredibly minimal with the Sherpas that mutiny. It is not interesting at all. Then they get the Yeti, right? They take it back to California. And then, of course, it gets free. But it also barely does anything. It attacks some people, but it really only has one victim. Okay. Every time the Yeti kills someone, it happens off screen. We don't ever see the Yeti kill. Almost every time we see the Yeti, it's recycled footage from the first shot. It's a cool first shot where it's like all black and the shadows are hiding its face. But like the Yeti will walk up in that shot and then the person will walk away and then they'll just rewind the footage to have the Yeti back up. They weren't even bothered to just film the guy in the Yeti suit walking backwards. Like, it's insane. It really is. But yeah, they corner at the end of the film, they corner the creature in a storm drain, because it's using the storm drains to travel through the city. And they're like, keep it alive, but they can't capture it alive, so they shoot it, one bullet kills it, and it's done. And there's also this whole thing where it's always talking about, well, one of the doctor, like the guy working with the doctor is about to have a kid to be born. And they mention that several times, but we never see the pregnant wife. We never see the kid. And after they defeat the Yeti, it's announced that the kid was born. And everyone's like, congratulations! But how's the audience supposed to care? This character's only been in half the movie. We never see his wife. We never see his child. If the Yeti, like, kidnapped the pregnant wife, that would be cool. In fact, because it starts off the film with the Yeti kidnapping a woman. And one of the Tibetan people is even like, Yetis like to take women. Well, one of the first people we see when we come back to America in the film is the doctor's wife, who really doesn't even have lines. I don't even know why she's there. And then I'm like, oh, the Yeti must abduct the doctor's wife or something. And then we never see him. The wife again. Like, there was so much potential for drama and stakes because they established the Yeti kidnaps women thing. And then the main characters both have wives, one of which we've seen. The other is pregnant. But they don't have the Yeti kidnap one of the wives. And it's like, that's what I would have done. That would have been cool. That would have been some real stakes. They have to be careful when they go to catch the Yeti. They can't, because in the end of the film, they just throw a net on it and they shoot it. That's how they beat it. They throw a net on it, they shoot it, it takes like 5 seconds. It's so boring, it's so stupid. But if the Yeti had a woman in his arms, they couldn't shoot. They'd have to be more careful, they'd have to be more crafty, they'd have to stop it in a clever way, because they don't want to shoot the woman, especially if it's a pregnant woman, which is a woman who would have a harder time getting away from the Yeti also. That would have been cool. That would have been really cool. And you know, I was actually excited to watch this film. I had a bad feeling about it. I really did. But I was also excited to watch it. Because, as many of you who follow my movie reaction reviews know, I am a huge Bigfoot movie fan. Right? I review as many Bigfoot movies as possible. So, it stands to reason that I would also be a huge Yeti fan. And I am, because they're basically the same cryptid, just in different geological locations. Yetis are often depicted as a bit more aggressive, and sometimes they're white, but they're also sometimes brown. The Yeti is brown in this film. So it stands to reason I'd also be a Yeti movie fan, but I'm just not a fan of this film. The Yeti suit is alright, I guess. We never really get a good look at its face, which is actually kind of cool. But the reason for that is actually because the lighting in the film is terrible. There are some shots in the film where the creature's face is intentionally hidden by the lighting. But there are also some shots in the film, like when he's in the slaughterhouse or something, where it's like you should be able to clearly see his face, but you can't. And there's no shadows cast over it or anything. It's hard to see things in this film because the lighting is so shitty. Sorry, fam, but that's just how it be, you know? And then we've also got the body of the Yeti, which is really short hair. Like, really short hair. The shortest hair I've ever seen on a Yeti or Bigfoot. And it's like, you expect me to believe this creature's crawling around on, like, Mount Everest and stuff, and its hair's that short? It needed thicker fur, I thought. I really did. Because it was really short-haired Yeti. Like, almost to the point where it looked too human. Especially since it didn't have a creature-like posture. Like, in this same year, right? So this and Gojira come out in the same year. In Gojira, Haruo Nakajima is, like, going to the zoo on his lunch break during the shooting of the movie because he wants to watch how animals move so that he can make the monster he's portraying move more like an animal. Right? That is happening at the same time this movie is being filmed. And in this movie, the guy in the Yeti suit's just walking around like a normal person. Like, I get it, right? Bigfoot has basically the same posture as a human. But in a lot of Bigfoot movies I've seen, like, the Bigfoot actors, like, swing their arms and stuff, and they have a big stride, and they aren't just moving around like they normally would. Like, whoever the actor was for the Yeti just didn't even try to make it seem like a creature. At all. They didn't. But, yeah, it still has a special spot in my collection, because I do love the Bigfoot movies. Once again, it's starring Paul Langton, Leslie Dennison, and Teru Shimida. And, you know, I thought it would take the film to a more racist place as well, with the Tibetans, but it didn't, which is very nice. I've come to expect racism from the movies in this box set. This is my Sci-Fi Classics 50 movie box set that I'm still going through. I think we're about halfway through the box, review-wise. I don't know. We'll have to see, but that is it for our review of The Snow Creature, 1954, black and white, rated G. Thank you all very much for your support. This movie, I do believe, is actually public domain. I think you can watch it for free online legally, so definitely check it out. But once again, thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, Kaiju Gang. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when good videos go up onto your feed. And that is it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time.